Hey guys, my name is Dean. Welcome to MFY Yoga. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 unique exercises to strengthening your knee if you have a history of knee injuries or past knee surgery. This video is for my friend and member of the MFY Yoga Launch Group, David Gimble in Chicago. So David has had meniscus surgery in the past, and he's been active for his whole life, but those knee issues just keep resurfacing. They don't keep you from working out, but they're just nagging injuries. You know, sometimes you avoid going deeper into a squat. Maybe you just have issues going into full flexion, so bending your knee all the way. And I actually have had knee problems in the past too. I had knee surgery when I was 16. So I'm going to show you a few exercises and hopefully some unique exercises that you haven't seen before to help with fixing your knees and just making them stronger so you can go about your day-to-day exercises and do the things that you want to do. So the first exercise I'm going to show you is a boat. So boat is a yoga pose that helps to strengthen your hip flexors. And this was one exercise that I found that was really difficult. And I think it's one reason why people have issues with their knees. So what we're going to focus on here is your core and your hip flexors. So we're going to draw the feet in so that we can still plant the feet firmly on the floor, about 1.5 feet away from your butt. You're going to sit up as tall as you can and sit forward on your sit bones, so kind of sitting forward. Pick up your chest as much as you can. Aim your sternum at the ceiling, making your back flat, and then lift your knees off the ground to hover. Now, it's okay to use your hands at first here, so if you want to use your hands to help stabilize, maybe putting them on either side of your hip, you can go for that. Our goal here is to keep the back flat while lifting the knees off the ground. So you should instantly feel your hip flexors starting to engage. Those are the muscles in the tops of your thighs. So that's step 1 here. Step 2 is starting to extend the legs, right? So straightening the legs a little bit more, flexing the toes back toward the shin, and then we're going to feel a little bit more activation in those hip flexors. At the same time, you want to work on keeping the back flat. Again, sitting forward on your sit bones, not leaning back too far. And then you can start to squeeze your legs together for a little bit more here and keep lifting those legs higher. Now, if you are weaker on one side, this will become painfully obvious because one leg is going to go up and the other leg is going to really shake as you hold it. So this is your first exercise. This is a boat pose. And we're going to particularly focus on strengthening your hip flexors and your core as you're doing this. Now, as you get stronger, you might be able to get into straightening your legs all the way. I'm a little tired of it now, so I can't go all the way there. But your goal is eventually to straighten the legs and go all the way while keeping your back flat and keeping your hips up, sitting on your sit bones. So that's exercise number 1. Try that for 30 seconds at first. Work your way up to a minute. Make sure that you're keeping good form and keeping your back flat as you do it. The second exercise that we're going to do is a single leg balance with a leg extension. This is again going to focus on strengthening your hip flexors and your core. It's also going to help with your glutes on the standing leg. So knee pain is usually related to weakness in the hips. So that includes your glutes, that includes your hip flexors, your TFL, your tensor fasciae lata, and it also includes your core. So mainly your transverse abdominals, your abs. So this exercise actually helps out with all of those things. So I'm going to have you stand on your right leg. You're going to lift your left knee up as high as possible. Squeeze your right hip. So really squeeze the right glute. Make sure that glute is engaged and firing. Keep your head above your hips. So we're still straight up and down here. And then extend your left leg forward and lift it as high as possible without changing your posture. So we're not going to lean back at all. We're not going to bend the right knee. We're going to stay straight up and down, driving down through the right heel, lifting your left leg up as much as possible. And we're going to hold this for a minimum of 30 seconds. So what's really working here to hold this left leg up is your hip flexor and that TFL, right? So the top of the hip. And these muscles tend to get really weak if you have a bad knee. So we want to make sure that we're strengthening those muscles. So that's what we're doing here. And again, you're going to hold that for 30 seconds and work your way up to a minute. And I'm going to show you on the right side what this looks like and then just show you kind of an alternate of what you might do. Now, it's really hard to extend your leg this high while keeping your leg straight. So this is really hard for me. So what I'm going to have you do is start with your leg just about 6 inches off the ground and make sure that you're using your hip flexor to lift. All right, so we don't want to bend the knee here as you're extending the leg. We want to make sure that that leg is straight. We also make sure that we're not leaning back at all, right? So we're not leaning back like this as we to get the leg higher. We want to make sure that we're staying straight up and down with perfect posture and a neutral spine, and that way we're not cheating and we're getting the exercise, getting the most out of exercise and doing it properly. And then the third exercise I want to show you is using this piece of equipment. All you need is a wall or a pole or just something that you can hold on to. Maybe it's a heavy desk or a couch. So what we're going to do here is a modified squat, so a supported squat, and I'm going to have you kind of shift back from one leg to the other. So you're going to hold on to your piece of equipment, whatever it is. You're going to sit down into a squat, and don't be afraid to lean back here. So really lean back into this and put the weight into your hips, almost like you're doing a hip hinge. So really pull the hips back. Your knees can be behind your toes here. And I'm just going to have you shift into one leg. Use your hands on the support to help with the weight. You're just going to shift into one leg, keep your hips squared forward, keep the weight in your hips, and then shift back to the other leg, keeping the hips squared forward, and now lifting the other foot up, just hovering off the foot about an inch off the ground. And then we're going to kind of keep shifting back and forth here, and to increase the difficulty, you're going to go deeper into this while trying to keep your feet facing straight forward. Your toes are going to want to turn out here. Try to prevent that from happening. That's going to help you get better glute engagement as we're doing this, better external hip rotation, and that's going to help you with strengthening the hips and relieving that pressure on the knee. So as you get lower into this, as this gets more advanced, it's going to get more difficult. You might feel more pressure on the knee as you do this. So to avoid, you want to avoid knee pain as you're doing this. So make sure you're going high enough that you have no knee pain, but low enough that you're still challenging your hip strength and getting something out of the exercise. So those are my 3 exercises for you to help with recurring knee injuries. Obviously, if you're going through a knee recovery right now, these could be a little bit too intense. Actually, boat pose is not too intense. So that first one that I did is not too intense. But the second 2 could be more intense. So if you're recovering from a knee injury right now, just be careful as you're doing those. And the reason why I'm making this video for David is because we have a new product coming out for Man-Flo Yoga. This is our Yoga Strong DVD, and it will be on Amazon on Saturday, April 7th. And this is our intermediate yoga workout series DVD. It's a slow burn power yoga DVD. Lots of really slow flowing, muscle building, fat burning workouts to help you get stronger, help you lose weight, and get the body that you need and the body that you want. So we're working on the strength and the mobility that you need to perform, but also we're building the body that you want to have in front of the mirror. So this is a really cool program. I'm really excited about this. Thank you to David and the Man-Flo Yoga Launch Group for helping with promoting these DVDs. And if you're not already subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure you're subscribed. We put out content like this on a very regular basis. And for more info on the Yoga Strong DVD, head to manfloyoga.com/yoga-strong. And that's all I've got. Thanks for watching the video, and I look forward to seeing you on the future ones. Make sure to share, comment, and like if you enjoyed it.